You ever say that I want a better job? You ever say that I want a better life? I want something else to happen. I don't want to be depressed, but it doesn't happen. Why doesn't it happen? We're going to discuss this. We're going to discuss hypnotherapy. We're going to discuss how the correlation is, because let's discuss that let's just say you make, it's just so many people talk about money and earning, right? So let's just say you make 80,000 a year, and you say, with your critical mind, I want to make 150. Okay, I want to make 150. I want to almost double it. That way, I can have a better life. I can put my kids to a better school, private school. I can drive a better car. I can live in a better neighborhood. I can eat better food. I can take vacation. My spouse doesn't have to work, or maybe you're a sole provider already, and I can buy my kids whatever it is that they need. And with the rising cost of living is just, I don't blame anybody for wanting to make minimum 150,000 per adult in the house. So, but it doesn't happen. You ever say, I want to make this 150, but it doesn't happen. All right, we're going to talk about this in hypnotherapy, how it correlates. So let's backtrack a little bit. Okay, so you have somebody making 80, they want to make 150, but that's their critical mind. I'm using my critical mind right now. I wake up in the morning. I have to go through a routine. Brush my teeth, talk to the kids, the wife, get everything situated, get them fed, so on and so forth, right? Now, I tell myself I want to make 150,000, but I'm only making 80, and my critical mind keeps saying it, but that isn't how it's done, and it is not what you do. So, okay, so for example, got this person, they got to go to work. They jump in their car. That's an ugly car. All right, let's do this a little better here. I don't know. Not that I'm going to make a really pretty car. Here, that's a headlight, just in case you were wondering. These are wheels. Okay, so here I go. I start driving to work. To my $80,000 a year job. This is the building, the office building. Let's put a little door here so I can get inside. There's one window here. That's just, that's where my boss, that's his office. Everybody else doesn't get light. So I have a 20-minute commute. Has it ever happened to you that you get in your car, the train, the bus, whatever it is, and you get to your destination, to your job? It doesn't have to be your job. It can be anywhere, right? And you get there, and this 20 minutes, you arrive, and you're like, you snap out of it, and you're like, oh my God, I'm here already. I feel like I've only been driving for a few minutes, but yet it's been 20 minutes. So you get out your car, and you're like, whoa, that is nuts. I didn't even get into an accident. I got here. I stopped at red lights. I green lights. I went. Whatever. But yet 20 minutes felt like 3 minutes. What happened there is that your mind went into a state of trance. We all do it. Some do it more than others. Sometimes you may not even realize it. But think about it. You maybe sat down to watch something on TV. The show ends, or a commercial comes on, and you're like, what? I haven't even been paying attention. I'm here looking, but I have no idea. I'm here driving, but I have no idea what just happened the last 10 minutes, 15 minutes. What happened to my critical mind? The critical mind is, again, what we use to with our kids, critical mind. You're there, you're taking action, you're doing things. But what happens is your critical mind is pushed to the side, and your subconscious mind takes over. You're in a state of trance, and when you move over, the critical mind and your subconscious comes forward. That's when you're able to access higher levels of thinking, and that is where we program from $80,000 to $150,000. I can walk around, you can walk around all day saying, I'm going to make $80,000 to your critical mind, but it's your subconscious mind that dictates, I think it's 93% to be exact, of the reality that you create. If you're telling your subconscious mind that I'm only worth $80,000, let's get back to that. So we've got our critical mind. There it is. Our everyday dealings with our life is 80K. We're saying to our subconscious mind, this is our subconscious mind, we're only 80,000. We're only 80,000 because of the actions that you're taking. You may be saying through your critical mind, yeah, I want to make 150, but the message that you're sending your subconscious mind may be, it's only 80,000 that I want to have in my reality. I only want my kids to eat this. This quality of food. I only want to consume this quality of food. My quality of life is this. It may be 40,000. So what happens is we want to have a different reality of 150,000. But what matters is the subconscious mind. We need to get to this subconscious mind. That mind that got you to your job in a blink and you're like, what just happened? I was in a trance. This is what happens in hypnotherapy. This is where we can make changes. So, and I'm not saying you go have hypnotherapy session just to make $150,000, but it resolves a lot of soul trauma. And we're going to discuss that real quick, okay? Okay, let's talk about soul trauma, okay? So, you have a soul. This is your soul, right? And we're going to put S for soul or subconscious. You have many different, and I don't want to overcomplicate it. Maybe I should just go with 2, whatever. So we have many different experiences going on, and it happens at once on that higher plane of existence. It happens at once. So we'll number them 1, 2, 3, and it's not always a specific number like, oh, it's always going to be 6 or whatever, or sometimes it's just 2. I've heard of just 1, but typically it's going to be several. And not that this is all of them. What happens is the soul wants a specific experience that it vibrationally matches with the mental state for the soul and the expansion of the mind that it wants of itself. So it'll have these experiences that best fit it, but sometimes it just requires 2. Or sometimes they move on from this evolution, and so they'll have another set of experiences in the next set of incarnations. But again, this is not a video about all that. So what happens is the subconscious mind needs to be told, I want $150,000 experience in this number 1 incarnation here, which is what I'm having here on Earth. And currently I'm manifesting the reality of this experience in the year 2023. This is where I'm at in my current timeline. I am, 25 years old. You're 25 years old currently, and there again, time does not exist in the same way to the soul. Now they have a time, but not in the physical. This is all frequency, a pool of frequency of a grouped experience. But I don't want to overcomplicate it. What matters is what you're experiencing now. You're 25 years old. Your year is 2023, and you want $150,000. So that's what the subconscious. And so now, if you can get your subconscious saying, "I want this experience." See, and the thing is, sometimes you already come in to the experience saying that you wanted the 40,000, right? So let's just say you're like, oh, I want to incarnate and make only 40,000. Oh, well, maybe four, I don't know. So 40,000. So what happens is You're having this experience, but you're here in the physical, experiencing it moment to moment, and it is excruciating. It is painful. It is very hard to live. So you're like, no, I want to rewrite my agreement, my soul contract, my experience here. I am not going to end it this way. And so you go and reprogram it. Tell your subconscious that you want the 150, right? So soul trauma, though. Let's just say in this life, you have soul trauma. I don't want to get into the gruesome details of soul trauma. I don't want to upset anybody, but soul trauma can come in a number of different ways. But let's say you have, unfortunately, the most common is being physically abused. Okay, so we're gonna put AB for abuse. You have an experience as a young child where you're abused by an adult, and it affects you. Okay. Why did I write AB? I should be child abuse, right? Child abuse. So what happens is we need to, so let's just say, so this is a perfect example. This is the client, right? This is you. So the client comes to me and says, I want to make more money. I want to make more money. But I also was abused as a child, right? Child abuse. We go, and the subconscious mind is what dictates everything, right? And again, there's no guarantees. I can't guarantee somebody that they're going to come out making 150,000 from 40 or from 80, whatever the number is, right? So the subconscious mind, just looking at this, and let's look at this. This is a perfect example here. This is so funny. I really didn't plan this. I'm just going. This one, he gets hit by a car. Yeah, all right, so hit by a car, right? This is a perfect example of somebody comes to me. They'll tell me, I'm having pain in my leg. It makes it difficult for me to have a quality of life. I have this, the doctors can't tell me anything. But yet this is the experience that they're having, right? This is, again, this is the experience. This is the incarnation that they're coming to me with, number one. But they say, man, I got a pain in my leg. This is horrible, and I get super depressed at times. I suffer from depression. I don't know why. I think it has to do with the fact that I'm only making $40,000. I want to make 150. Okay, let's see what your subconscious says. Go into a state of trance, just like when you're driving to work. Move the critical mind. Here's the critical mind. Move it over, get it out the way, because your critical mind is going to say, I'm deserving of this. I am this, I am that, my neighbor this, and my cousin that, and my brother, and my mother, and da. Critical mind, I want this, I'm deserving. That's what's going to happen. But that isn't, I need to talk to the subconscious. The subconscious is 93%, if not a little more, of what is dictating your reality. You are the creator of your own reality. So, hey, subconscious, we're in hypnotherapy. Let's talk. Just looking at this, I already know. Hey, the subconscious is going to say, you know what? You need to navigate this session in this way. And again, we're guided in certain ways. And we need, there's a problem. The depression, the source of the depression is actually coming from this name. And the person laying there will say a name. And we'll say Smith. Okay, this Smith, and I'm like, okay, so who's this Smith person in this life, in this number one life? It's nobody. Okay, so what is your name? The client's name. The client will say, well, my name is Jane, but you told me when you walked into my office, when we spoke over the phone, whatever, you said your name is Jim. So who's Jane? Jane is another incarnation that I'm having, or that I've had. My soul had this experience. It's bleeding over. The child abuse event is bleeding over, and this person, Smith, abused me. That's why I'm feeling depressed. It isn't the money. Oh, now we know. What are the details? Give me the details. We need to talk to Smith. We need to talk to their S, subconscious, soul, whatever, right? So talk to him. Okay, what's going on? We get details, we get clarity, we get expansion of mind, we clean the trauma, the soul of this trauma, soul fragmentation, we do the whole works. We go through the whole session, navigate it. Now we understand, oh, Jane, from incarnation number 2, and again, this is not linear, this is not, okay, I hope I get that clear. Smith abused me. This is the source of the depression. We need to clear it. We take care of it. Oh, subconscious comes back and says, hey, this is pain in the leg. I was hit in a car. Had a bad accident, was hit by a car, whatever. In this life, I was called Gene, right? Okay. All right, let's clean that up. Okay, let's clean this unexplained ailment that the doctors can't figure out. You're on pills and you barely can walk. You arthritis. Fibromyalgia. Okay, all right. Okay, it came from here. Okay, we cleaned it up. Okay, and now the soul, once all these soul trauma issues have been resolved, and the soul says, "This 40,000 is what the critical mind has been telling me is what the reality is, or what the soul contract says." Well, they're not going to say the soul contract in those words, but they'll say, look, this is what, this is the reality that we've been manifesting, because we need, the subconscious is running the show, and this is what we wanted, but it's causing a lot of pain to Jim. Jim is so upset. Okay, so we need to make some expansion. Why? Why is this the situation? Why? Okay, we get information. Okay, but the client, and we go back and forth. It's literally a conversation. Literally. It is recorded. And so, okay, all right, so now we understand what's going on. But, we want more. We want more. What are the proper steps? What is the guidance? We may not even get here. We're talking about clearing a lot of issues before we even get here. There may be more down the list before you even get to the main issue that the Jim, who is physically in front of me, or on a video conference, where we can have a session remotely. So, okay, all right, now we see. Now we've cleared it up. Or maybe it's a bad spending, the bad spending habits, not able to make proper investments or whatever, and it stems from, and number 4, it could be. In 4, you took a vow of poverty. Let's see this. You were a nun, or, somebody like, in a temple, poverty. Oh, and it's bleeding over. That's what's going on with the subconscious. Okay, we need to fix that. This is what happens during a hypnotherapy session. There's no guarantees that you come to me and say, I was abused. And I'm Jane. I'm physically Jane. I was child abused. Excuse me. I was abused. I need to clear this. It's affecting me. My marriage, my boyfriend, my girlfriend. I need to clear that. Excuse me. I need water. I'm going to finish it here, but so we're like, okay, but we need to expansion in this. I need to speak to all parties. I need to speak to the person who abused you. And remember, in the higher levels, it's all energy, and I'm able to speak to the person who abused you. I'm able to speak to their subconscious. And I say we all work together. Your subconscious, the client's subconscious is doing the work. I'm not doing anything. Let me make that clear. I'm not doing anything. I'm navigating. I'm assisting. And that's how it is. That's what happens in a hypnotherapy session. If you're interested, contact me. But again, and then some people want knowledge. They just want just knowledge. Where did they come from? Where's their, lineage? What planet? What race? And yada, yada, yada. And again, there's no guarantee. They could come in and say, I have a perfect life. Everything's fine. I want to know what is my lineage. Am I Lyrian originally? Am I from Andromeda? Am I, whatever, right? Am I Palladian? And then all of a sudden the soul says, oh, we've got an issue. In another life, you were abused, or you were attacked by your partner, and you were killed by your partner, and that's why you have relationship problems, and it's causing soul trauma, and your portion of your soul is stuck in an event that happened in a past life, and we need to clear that. Once we clear that, we can talk about any knowledge and whatnot, sure. But that's how these sessions work. Your subconscious guides it, and we're not going to go anywhere that the subconscious of the client doesn't want to go. And sometimes you want knowledge, and again, they say, we're not going to even go there. I've had that. Okay, knowledge. That's a very popular one. I want knowledge. And then the soul, there was a fragmented soul in a past life. We have to clear that first. Now the client may be upset because they went there trying to gain knowledge, but they freed a portion of their soul and brought it to them. So let's just say here, child abuse. So these circles represent portions of energy, and they split off from the subconscious, from the consciousness, from the soul. But the physical may have died, or, again, everything is born and dead. Every incarnation already has been started and ended. We're just giving attention to a specific point within the frequency of that experience. But let's just say this portion didn't return, right? And it's stuck. It's stuck in here. Well, it needs to return to here. So it's stuck. It's called soul fragmentation. So once the soul, because maybe there's different reasons. I don't want to get into all that and overcomplicate it, but the soul says, no. Now that we have an open line of communication, we need to bring this back, make sure it's coming back to me. Let's get all our babies back, and we're going to guide them. All right, everybody. Contact me if you're interested. I'm giving one free hypnotherapy session, free, no, catch, a week. And let me know. And I really, and we can blur out your picture, but I want to post these again if you are okay with it, so that way we can help others and get others to feel comfortable with this process, because I feel strongly that if everybody was to have a hypnotherapy session, past life regression, where they're able to see past lives and see what is going on a higher plane, this world would be a completely different place. And obviously we have the controllers and whatnot to deal with, but regardless, we would be able to let everybody wake up a lot of people if they did this. All right, everybody. Much love. My star seasons. Continue the hard work.